Wait, is that a spawner? Well, cobblestone doesn't occur in caves naturally, so it must be. That's a lucky find seeing that we're still on day 0. But how do I turn that into a mob spawner farm? I don't have soul sand. How do I get them to be one hit? But believe it or not, with one pointed dripstone and at least 2 water buckets, and not forgetting the crafting table, you can make a fully functional XP farm out of that spawner. Still skeptical? All the rest of the materials that you require will come from mining out the area itself. For the sake of the video, I am using iron tools, but all of this can easily be done with stone tools. And also make sure you got some food and some decent protection. I don't have any armor, but a shield should do for now. So before we begin, I would like to say that this only works if you got a skeleton or zombie spawner. Just a heads up, this won't work with spiders. So the first step to making any spawner farm is to light up the surroundings so that no mobs spawn while you're actually building the farm. Oh my god, that's a lot of skeletons. Yep, they are just fighting each other, so if I quickly dive in and torch this up, just one torch should light up the entire area well enough so that no more mobs spawn while you're building. There we go. Make sure we light up at least 4 blocks around the spawner, and yeah, the cave ends here, so that's fine. Let's check what's in this chest. I would say that's some decent loot, but we don't need that for now, and they're just going to be in the way. So I'm going to move them over here and dump out all the stuff that we don't need. So now that we got the area lit up, what we can do is mark out 4 blocks in each direction from the spawner. So that's 4 blocks to the left, to the right, and to the front and back of the spawner. Next we're going to dig out these blocks so that we got a 9x9 room, so that every wall is 4 blocks away from the spawner. Just like so. Now repeat this for all of the sides. Okay, so it should be looking like this. 4 blocks to each side of the spawner should be cleared, and now we gotta tackle the headroom. For both zombies and skeletons, they require a minimum of 2 blocks above the spawner for the mobs to spawn on. So that means we gotta dig out another row of blocks all along here. And this makes sure that the mobs can spawn anywhere in this area, and to make sure that spawning isn't just restricted in this space right here where the mobs have actually got some headroom. However, if a mob does spawn right here and his head goes into the block, it would take some damage. So what we want to do is extend the space so it's 3 blocks above the spawner. We also need to make sure that none of the mobs can just walk out of the farm while it's in use, so we can block off all these openings to the cave. I'm not going to fully block it off for now, just leave an opening so I can come through. Now what you want to do is place down your crafting table, craft up 12 cobblestone slabs. Make sure you got torches elsewhere in the farm, and replace a torch on top with a cobblestone slab. This will make sure that none of the mobs can spawn on top of the spawner and just sit there, which will ruin the rates of your farm. Now this is a slightly tedious bit. What you want to do is go through and dig down 4 blocks everywhere on this entire floor. If you sneak, you should be able to perfectly reach 4 blocks of distance, but make sure you just don't fall down because you will take damage. So I'm just going to be doing this until we're finished with the floor. But in the early games this is especially useful since it gives you lots of resources that you can use later in the game. And although these corners might seem dark, as long as the client light level is above 0, mobs will not spawn, so you got nothing to worry about. Okay, so clearing out the last few blocks, we have finished digging pretty much around 90% of all the digging that you need to do for this farm. Next you want to dig yourself a little staircase out, and you can dump some of your materials in this chest. Now dig out a 2x2 space so you can build an infinite water source, and place 1 bucket in each corner of the farm. Now obviously before placing a water bucket over this, just cover this up and place a water bucket like so. This is pretty much perfect for our farm since it will funnel all the mobs just to this 1 block underneath the spawner right here. Now choose on which side you want your killing chamber to be. For me the cave opening is mainly on this side, so I'm going to have a killing chamber roughly in this direction. So press F3 and look at which direction you're facing. So in my case that's east. Now standing on this block, dig down 11 blocks. And still facing east, dig out 5 blocks. And then to either side dig out 2 blocks, except 3 high. Just like so. Oops. So now you should have this sort of T shape directly underneath the spawner. Now what you want to do is dig out these 4 blocks all the way back there. Make sure this room is still 2 blocks high. There goes my second iron pickaxe, but fortunately this is pretty much all the digging we have to do today. Now come in here, place a pointed dripstone like so, and then 2 slabs to either side. So this is where the instructions for the zombie farm and for the skeleton farm kind of vary. If you have a skeleton farm, then you can place slabs here and be fine with it. But if you do have a zombie farm, you'll need to replace these slabs with full blocks of your choice. And this is to make sure that the baby zombies can't just walk out and potentially kill you while you're AFK. And also what you need to do is make sure you place a slab here, because baby zombies can stand right on the edge of that dripstone block, and if this slab wasn't here, they would be able to make their way out. So if you have a zombie farm, this is what the setup should look like, but since I have a skeleton farm, I'm going to tear this all down, replace these with slabs again. Now on the edge of this wall, dig out another row of 2 blocks like so, and this is basically your entrance to the mob farm. So you can make this go however high up you want it to go, but for me, I think I'm just going to staircase my way up to the cave entrance that we were in before. It may not be the most elegant entrance, but it works. Now comes the kind of scary bit. You need to pillar up, you need to knock out these torches that are keeping mobs from spawning. So I'll knock out that one. So especially if you got a skeleton farm, make sure you're quite far back before removing the last torch, because the skeletons can potentially shoot you, and if you're on the edge, you could just topple over into the farm. So I'm just going to knock that out, quickly block that off, just like so. Now if you go down to the killing area, AFK on this block here, I'll mark it with some gravel. That is 2 blocks away from the dripstone. Exactly on this block you can AFK, and it's because this block right here that I'm standing on is one of the only blocks that's in range of the actual spawner. You could also AFK on this block, but I'll be careful if I were you. If you get too close, the skeletons will see you and will attempt to shoot you as well. Now the great thing about this farm is that the mobs are 1 hit if you attack them individually, but if you do have several mobs in there, 2 hits will be enough to kill them all. However, if you do have sweeping edge on your sword, which I'll quickly get just to demonstrate, you'll be able to one-shot all of the mobs. Now I'll AFK for 5 minutes just to see how much XP I get. I'll set my XP points and my levels to 0. So if you are enjoying this video and want to support the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if 1 in 10 of the people watching this video subscribe, we will get 3,000 subscribers every single week, and that would be absolutely huge. I know it's a big ask, but at least leave a like if you enjoyed the video. So we'll take 1 swipe at them and see how much XP we get. There we go, 13 levels in just 5 minutes, that's not bad. So although this is a pretty effective farm for day 1 and your early level enchants, if you want a much better farm, check out this video right here, where I explain how you can make your existing dark room mob spawner farm 3 times faster. But with that being said, make sure you hit that like button, and until next time, goodbye.